What do I mean by that? Well, quite simply, what I'm asking there is, has your client done the dodgy Rogy? So have they done some home handyman renovations over the years that they may not necessarily want to alert council to? Now, I've had two great examples of this over the last week, two contrasting examples with two very different outcomes. Now, the first one, I was having a chat to a building designer last week, and we're talking about the idea of further enclosing the front veranda on this character house. So I'm looking at it as a street view and I'm like, okay, normally my feedback when it comes to these things is no, because council doesn't like the further enclosure of verandas, but you do have some super duper contemporary houses next door, and there is that road noise. Wait, what that? That looks like a garage forward of a character house. How did they get a garage forward of a house? I don't know what they, whoa. If you guys recall seeing the ibis video that I did last year, I likened town planners, myself included, to ibises. We're constantly on the hunt for examples to be able to use in future applications. And in that moment, my ibis brain kicked in and I was like, damn, I gotta know how they did it so that I can do it on a future job. Yeah, long story short, went through the timeline feature on Street View and worked out that it was actually done about 5 years ago. Then I jumped into Development Eye, couldn't see any development application. Now, Development Eye covers the last roughly 20 years of development applications within council. I also knew they should have triggered an application for that. So, okay, they should have had an application at that point in time. There is no application. My conclusion in this situation is that the certifier has most likely approved it as an exempt carport. Then once the certifier's gone, whacked up a door, put on the walls, you know how the story goes. So yeah, in that moment, my conversation changed. I was basically talking to the designer saying, okay, look, ignore the chance of success on the veranda. Totally different issue, don't need to talk about that right now. What we need to talk about is the fact that if we were to lodge an application like this, we are naturally going to alert council to that unlawful building work at the front there. Council is going to do exactly what I did. They're going to go, how did they do that? Next minute compliance is going to be alerted, and then the client's probably going to be asked to pull the structure down or reinstate it back to a carport. So, question is, how important is that veranda enclosure to the client? Do they really want that at the expense of the garage? Now, as you can imagine, no brainer, no surprises here. The client went, yeah, okay, we're not going to go ahead with that application. We're just going to creep into the background and pretend we never spoke to you. So yeah, it's definitely not guaranteeing that compliance won't turn up in the future. They could literally turn up tomorrow for unrelated reasons. But in that situation, the client went, yeah, we're not going to wave a red flag in front of council and say, come and get us. Now, the other example, I was out on site earlier this week with a bunch of consultants. Walked down the driveway and I'm like, something is out here. Like, something is not right here. What is it? Anyway, start chatting away to the client. And I'm like, look, I'm seeing something, cut me off. And he's like, yeah, okay, gotta come clean. And I am paraphrasing here, but basically, gotta come clean. Here's what I did. So I'm like, okay, cool. Glad you told me. Now we need to have a conversation. Lodging this application with council, we're probably going to be alerting them to this. They're probably going to have the same reaction I did. They're naturally going to go, something's off here, and they're going to start digging in and investigating. So, knowing that, do you want to go ahead with this application? In that situation, they went, yeah, the work we're trying to do over here, we have to do it. We can't avoid it. It's so big. We're willing to go down this path. We obviously don't want to be like, hey, council, jumping up and down, come and get me. But if they happen to pick up on it through the assessment process, which they most likely will, yeah, okay, we're not going to be too sad and upset. So, moral of the story, or point I want to get across today is, you need to understand if you are opening a can of worms for the client when you're lodging an application. And if you are, whether they are okay with that outcome before you go down that path. Okay, I think that covers off everything I want to talk about today. As I always say, until next time, thanks for watching.
For all you red tape lovers out there, I have one thing to say. Well, no, actually, I've got three. Number one, the advice provided in these videos is general in nature. It's not site-specific. You would be a silly Billy to go and make financial decisions based on this advice without first checking with the town planner. Don't be a silly Billy. Number two, Brisbane town planning is in no way linked to Brisbane City Council. The views expressed in these videos are my own, not council's. So if you don't like them, blame me, not council. Number three, what was my number three? Oh yeah, the views expressed in these videos are accurate at the time of recording. If you're watching this video back 10 years from now, the views may not be so accurate. That's all.